Hey, Barbie. How you doing? Been a tough day, but I'm all right though. I guess being a medium kind of makes it a bit, you know, a bit less, but it still hasn't really, hit me yet. I think it's gonna hit me, man, or when we talk about sports and things like that. But I'm actually happy that God took him because he wasn't doing too good. He was starting to really deteriorate a lot. He had gout again today, and we're assuming it was a heart attack, but I mean, the doctor did say his heart was 30% and it was a matter of time. But my mom said he had such a good day today. He drove the car, they went to go get lunch, came back home, he was fine. Then my mom said he was about to have dinner and he was putting his pills together and he just started swaying back and forth and then he fell and he had a heart attack and passed away. Sad part is it was right in the kitchen at the house. So when I got there, they were trying to do CPR on him and trying to revive him, but it didn't work. I knew right then and there he was gone. And my nephew was with me, my youngest nephew that we named Daniel after my dad. And he went with me. And I thought I was going to go there and help my dad get up from falling, but that wasn't the case. So yeah, that's what happened. And then we went out. I was outside, and I saw him come outside on the stretcher, and he was pretty much gone. I didn't want to believe it. I just thought that maybe they will revive him in the hospital, or he'll be okay. Thought I was gonna go there and see him, but it didn't work out that way. But I'm glad that he's pain free because he was always in pain. He had in April he was in the hospital for a week, for like 2 weeks. He wasn't doing too good anyway. This has probably been the year that he's been the worst. You could see like his deterioration, especially the last like couple months. But you know, all I can say is I did everything I possibly could to help and to make his life easier. He did a lot for me and my family, so I'm sure God has him in a good place for sure. But yeah, it's hard. It's difficult seeing that, seeing him there, you know. But it's all good. I know he's in a better place now, and I know he's gonna be on my spirit team. Like Tanya said, he knows my secret now that I've kept from him. So it's all good. I'm trying not to like, get all worked up about it because at the end of the day, we all knew it was coming. It was a matter of time, and he lived a great life. He had a great life. He saw his grandson graduate this year. You know, he finally started thanking me for doing things around the house. You know, he worked 3 jobs his whole life. I know a lot about him because me and him are very close. I saw him every week. I was supposed to go there today and cut the grass, but it poured rain, and I ended up coming on here and didn't go there. And he told my mom, he goes, "Oh, I think Mark might come, but it's gonna rain." And I was like, I was gonna come down there, and but it started raining, so I didn't come. So I mean, I know it happens, you know. But I saw him on Sunday, had lunch with him, you know, had a good time. I speak to him on the phone all the time anyway. But I know he's every time somebody dies in my family or dies in that I know that they're a part of my team, so I'm about to get even stronger now. And I gotta be strong for my mom. My mom's devastated, as you know, but she's okay. She'll be all right. A lot of women I knew, all her sisters were widows, you know. A lot of people I know that are widows and life goes on, you know. Yeah, at least like before he died, he had a good day with my mom and had lunch with her and stuff. And they had their favorite fish and potatoes. And, you know, they went for their last drive together. He was 82 years old. He just been 82 a couple weeks ago. So at least he got to see his 82nd birthday. Like I said, I'm not really feeling like the effects of it right now because it's also fresh in my mind and it feels weird. It feels like it's not true. But, you know, I saw it with my own eyes. So I know he's gone, but at the same time, I'm getting like this feeling like I always tell everybody, you know, I'm the first one to preach about, you know, when somebody dies, you have them in spirit. Don't be sad, you know. Remember the good times and don't think about negative things. And I'm the first person to say that on here to everybody. And now I have to live and deal with what I say every day for myself. You know, a lot of people told me that I'm very lucky to have my parents this long. And my neighbor over here, her grandmother passed away at 98 today too. So it's very weird. Today was so weird, and it was just like how the fuck does this hell happening all at once? But hey, Amory, how you doing, sweetheart? Thank you. I appreciate you coming by. So I just wanted to come live and just tell you guys about it and stuff, and tell you that I'm alright. Like I said, I've done mediumship a long time now, so I know what dealing with dead people is like. They've put a lot of images in my brain, you know. So I have just yet another one of it in my brain now. So, but now I have my dad in spirit, and I know that he's going to. Fuck is this? Give me a second, guys. That was one of my best friends calling me to give me his condolences and stuff. He just heard about it. So yeah, it's a shitty situation, but I'm just glad my dad's gone and he's not dealing with pain anymore because he was always in pain and always had like medical problems and stuff. Especially this year was pretty bad, but I'm glad God took him, you know, finally and keep him out of pain. And I know he's in a good place because he's a good person. So it ain't really like hit me because I haven't gone down the house again. And like, I when I go down there again, it's gonna probably be different because I'm not gonna see him anymore. But in spirit, I will. I know he'll definitely aggravate me in spirit, so it'll be good. I have another person on my team, so he never knew about my psychic stuff, but now he does. So at least I can be with him in that way. Hey Joanna, hey Goodman, hey Lucky. Thanks guys, I appreciate it. But I'm trying to stay, strong for the family. Like I said, my mom, and my youngest nephew were there when he passed away, so it was kind of a shitty feeling. But in a way, I'm just like glad that he's not in pain anymore. Because my mom said he had gout pretty bad today, so at least he doesn't have to worry about pain no more. So, and he could still be here with us in spirit, which I know he will be. But yeah. Yeah, I posted it up on my community page to let everybody know because I wasn't really gonna come live but I'm good. I just wanted to come live and tell everybody that I'm alright. I don't want nobody worry about me. I'll be good. Yeah, Goodman. I've been doing mediumship my whole life. I talk to dead people every day, so now I have him to talk to still. That's why it's not really affecting me a lot. A lot. I mean, it will affect me eventually because I talk to him every week, talk to him like every other day. We watch football together and stuff and things like that, sports. I go down there and cut the grass and then he'll hang out with me and talk shit and whatever, have fun. But he was deteriorating. He had heart problems. His last doctor's appointment, I went with him in July, and the doctor told me that he ain't gonna be too much longer. He said to me that his heart's on 30%, and that's not good. So I said, well, I know he's gonna go one day, but so it happened. But it's all good. It's life. Yeah, exactly. But even though I don't have to wait for that day, I know right now that I'm sure, like he's gonna be around me because he always is. We're always been close. So not in my teenage years we weren't, but I would say the last 20, 25 years we've been very close. But I know he's gonna be here watching the game with me plenty of times. So every time I watch my team play with him, he'll be fine. Yeah, my brother is with my mom. Yeah. He lives right next to my mom, like 2 minutes away. So if she needs anything, my mom's very annoying to deal with. She doesn't want nobody stay with her and this and that, blah blah blah. But I was the only one there because it was like It was right after I got off the live, right after I went live, because I was on here at like 3:30, and then 4:30 this all happened. So literally an hour after I went live, he passed away. And it was weird because I went to pick up my nephew at school, and then on my way home, I get here, and then my mom calls me crying, saying my dad had collapsed on the ground, and can I come there as quick as I can? I'm like, yeah, sure. So I'm thinking that he just fell down and couldn't get up. And then my brother called the ambulance, and then when I got there, it was just too late. So we're assuming he had a heart attack, which he probably did. So anyway, he lived a good life. He was a good father, a good husband, and you know, at the end of the day, it's life. And I'll just continue to help my mom. My mom is very worried now, but she's worried. She worries too much anyway. She's worried about paying for the funeral and money and the house. And I said, look, mom, you ain't got to worry about anything. We'll take care of everything. You got 4 kids. We'll take care of everything. You ain't got to worry about none of that shit. So we're all going to take care of everything. But you know how you are. You know how when you're older, you have less, you do less, you can't work. My mom goes 80 in January, and not too. I think about 2 weeks ago, she fell. She messed up her knee. Life is it's shitty. Watching them deteriorate. But I live 10 minutes away, so I'm gonna be there every day for the next couple weeks, and however long it takes for her to, be okay again and realize that it's okay. So I'm gonna try and be there a lot. While I'm there, I'll work on the house and make sure she's okay, make sure she's got food, and I'll cook for her and stuff, make sure she's all right. So should be okay. Should be fine. We're all gonna be all right. It's not the first time, and it won't be the last time that people lose somebody. It's just the way it is. I think we all need to realize that when people die, you always have them in spirit. And I'm the first person to preach that to everybody on here. So now I have to listen to my own words. We should never take death, as a complete bad thing. Especially if the person that dies, that they're gonna be there for you in spirit, and that they're never gonna be in pain again. So, you gotta be happy for them that they've reached that part where they don't have to worry about bullshit anymore. Absolutely, Goodman. You're definitely right about that. But in his case, he was like upset that he couldn't do anything. Like he couldn't cut the grass anymore. I cut the grass at the house all the time. I do all the maintenance at the house. I pay for like some of their bills. My sister pays for their bills. We try to ease up their anxiety and their fear, of everything. We tried everything. I did everything I could for my parents to make sure they're okay. I always bought shit for them. They would get mad at me, and my sister pays for a lot of things. But my other two older siblings, they're worthless. But at the end of the day, I know my dad is in a better place. And it's crazy because my friend buried his dad today, and his dad and my dad were like, they were acquaintances. They weren't friends, but they were cool with each other. It's crazy. This year, a lot of people have passed away that I know. It's crazy. here today, gone tomorrow. But I really hope that God knows that I need to be on this earth to help everybody now, especially my mom. And I know that he'll allow me to do that. But yeah, I know he's not suffering anymore. I know he's all right now. My dad suffered a lot, so I'm glad he's okay. Hey, Lisa, thanks, sweetheart. I appreciate it. Yeah, lucky. Yeah. I remember like on Sunday when I went there to eat lunch with my parents. He got up very slow. Um, all his burns were showing. He looked like you could see like he wasn't gonna last much longer. And he started to turn colors. He started to be like more pale. He said he was cold all the time. Um, he wasn't walking that as much, but he ate pretty good. But I kind of sensed that something was gonna happen to him because he just didn't look himself anymore. You know, for a little while there, he was doing pretty good. Like he looked really good, but there's only so much you can take. But yeah, so I appreciate everybody, giving their condolences and checking up on me. I appreciate that very much. But I gotta be strong for my family right now, especially my mom. So thanks, God. I appreciate it. But that's the only person I'm worried about right now is my mom, because I know she's gonna take it very. She doesn't take death very well. But and now it's my dad, so it's gonna be even worse. But you know what? Last Christmas was probably one of the best Christmases we had. So, like I told my sister, he's not going to be here this Christmas. But remember, last Christmas he had so much fun. He participated in like the games. He tried his best to make everybody laugh and stuff like that. So he always had a story to tell, like me. Thank you, Teresa. I appreciate it. But my mom is going to be the one that I have to really keep my eye on. But she's tough. I just pray that she's going to be okay through this whole thing. She's been through a lot. She's lost all her siblings. She lost her parents at an early age. My mom's the youngest in her family. She buried her brother last year. It's hard, man. It's hard for my mom. I feel bad for her because she's been through so much. And now this. And to see him today with my mom and my nephew like pass away right in front of us, it was very difficult to see. But hey, Fiona, thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah, it sucks, but and I wish he would have never passed away in the house. I wish it was at like the hospital or something. So now we have to live with that too, you know, which I don't really like. But every time I go there now, I'm gonna think about that. But I'm trying to like erase that and just know that hey, when you come here, he's here. He's here in spirit, so he's gonna make sure mom's okay when I'm not here. He's gonna still, sleep in his house. He loved his house, so I'm sure he's there right now in his bed with my mom and chilling out at home, and he doesn't have to be in pain. So absolutely, I always know that and believe that. So yeah, but I know a lot of people that's gone through the same thing. You know, I know a lot of people who's gone through the same thing. So I know how difficult it is. I remember, a lot of my friends when their parents passed away, they were devastated, and I was there for them, and they were telling me all the things, and they all recovered. They're all good. It's just another day that is guaranteed in life to deal with. I feel bad for my nephew too because he's 16 and he went with me and he saw the whole thing and he was devastated too. My nephew, my youngest nephew, he's named after my dad, and that's his favorite grandson. He took it okay too. I apologized to him for bringing him. He was like, "No, you don't have to apologize, Uncle Mark. It's life. We didn't know what we were gonna see." And I was like, "I know, man, but I didn't really want you to see that. That's hard to look at." But he was okay. He was like very supportive, and he also knows that I'm a medium, so he knows. Like I told him right after we left, I said, "Well, your grandfather's gonna be, you know, always around us. He loved you, he loved me. He's gonna be around us all the time, making sure we're okay." Because one thing about my dad, he was very protective. That's where I get it from. But it's the way it is. Well, Lisa, I haven't said anything because like I don't really wanna, say anything. But as soon as he passed away, I was outside sitting on the chair and he came to me for about 2 minutes very briefly. Because when he came to me in spirit, I knew he was gone. Because when I looked at him on the ground, I said, "Yeah, he's gone." Because I can see, I can tell. And I went straight outside and I sat down. And about 5 minutes later, he appeared to me, told me he loved me, which he never really said. And he just told me, "Please take care of your mother in the house." That's what he said. And that was it. That's why I knew right away he was gone. Cause his spirit came to me right after. And that's what usually happens. So now he gets to be a part of my team. And I'm sure he's probably saying to himself, "Oh, this is what Mark's been doing all this time." So now I'm sure he's going to be hanging out with me every weekend watching football. I'm sure he'll be here tomorrow when I watch the game. And I'm sure he's going to be here many times watching football with me like we always did. So it's all good. Well, Barb, I think that sometimes people's lives, and I think God ends people's lives the way they do because I think that it's just the way it is, you know? I know it's a shitty thing, but sometimes it's sometimes I think the way you die is to let other people see what it's like. You know what I mean? So for instance, for me, my mom and my nephew to see him pass away in front of us, it was probably because out of those three people, that's who he loves the most. And that's probably the only sense I can make out of it. And I know that sometimes it's meant for people to see things, to give them a perspective on life and say, hey, look, see how easy it is to just pass away within a second, you know, see what happens, you know. This is what life is can give you. And you know how people say, you know, I want to die in my own house instead of the hospital. Maybe that's his wish from God. You know, hey, look, I wanted to die in my own house, so here you go. That's what I think, Bob. I could be wrong, but that's my opinion on that. A lot of people, you know, have grudges against God for how things happen, but at the end of the day, nobody really knows somebody's karma and somebody's way of dying or living or how they die or why they die a certain way. But that's what I believe. At the end of the day, you know, it happened. It's nothing we can do but just remember the good times and just roll with it and just understand that now you have them in a different form. And that's just the way it is. I really have to concentrate on my mom and make sure she's going to get through this in one piece because she's very dramatic. She's very, like, you know, she'll cry for the next fucking year. I know she will. She already did, and rightfully so. But she needs to, I need to really take care of her and make sure she's okay. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's absolutely true. I'll be all right, Lisa. I didn't eat dinner today. I'm not even hungry. I'm just still in like shock. But I had a good lunch, so I'm all right. I'll eat breakfast tomorrow morning. I'll be fine. I've drank a lot of water and stuff, but I just can't. I just don't feel hungry. I don't feel like eating anything. You know, my stomach's all over the place. but I'll be okay. The thing is, I was gonna eat lobster today too, and then I had to put it back in the fridge and just save it for probably tomorrow, I guess. Yeah, I just gotta keep doing it. That's all. I always take care of my mom and dad and the house. As you guys know, I always talk about them on here. I always talk about what I do for them and how I deal with them, how much a pain in the ass they are. My biggest pain in the ass is gone. My dad was probably the biggest pain in the ass in my life. And not too long ago, I said, one day he goes, I'm probably going to be relieved of all the fucking bullshit that I have to do around this house. And then I said, I'm only joking, but like, and I said it like, and my sister was laughing at me. She goes, when he dies, you're going to fucking miss him. I said, well, I don't know if I'll miss him, but because he's a fucking pain in my ass and he always has been. But for me, it's a lot different because, being doing mediumship and being a medium, you can connect through spirit. So I have the channel with him all the time. And I know he'll be sitting right on that couch watching football with me. I know he will because my uncle did it for years. When my uncle passed away 20 something years ago, he was here all the time. He was here all the time because I could smell him and all that. So I'm sure my dad's going to be here tomorrow to watch the game. And I'm sure he'll be here every week. So I'm gonna make him proud in spirit, like I always have made him proud in real life. Even though sometimes he probably didn't say it, but he was a man of few words, few emotions. But one thing I can give him credit for is for being very good to my mom, being a great husband and a great father. So I have nothing bad to really say about him. Just that he was a fucking pain in my ass many times. He drove me nuts. But now I have my mom to do that. Good night, Barbie. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Love you too, sweetheart. Thank you. Hey, Dan. What's up, brother? So, yeah, I'll be all right. Like I said, it hasn't really hit me hard yet, but it probably will. But right now, it just feels weird. That's all. Just feels so weird. It feels weird. It just doesn't feel like real. But I know it'll set in. I know some things will kick in every now and then. But we all go through it. We all have to go through it at one point in time. Now it's my, you know, now it's my turn. Sometimes we think that it's never gonna happen, right? We always say, nah, not nah, my dad's this and that, or my mom's this and that. And I always said, nah, my dad's not gonna die no time soon. He's a soldier, he'll be all right. But I have to admit, lately he's not been looking too good. So, and he's been in a lot of pain recently, so I don't like that. And my mom says that when she sleeps with him in the bed every night, he'll have bad dreams or he'll kick his legs and he'll hurt himself. And he was walking around with a cane for the past month. He's been very dependent on a cane where before he wasn't. And when I saw him like that, I knew right away that you know his time's coming. You know, but there's some. I always look at it in a positive way. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, "Oh my God," blah blah blah. I take death in a different way because I know what it's like, to I know what it's like for people who lose people. I've been dealing with it my whole life. You know, I know that it's so reassuring to people for me to do mediumship for them. When it comes to their past loved ones, they have like the best feeling in the world for them is to get reassurance that the person that's passed away in their life actually is going through me to talk to you and giving you signs. And so now, I have my dad in spirit, and I'm sure he's gonna, help me make the right choices. And I know he'll be, here all the time for sure. So I'm looking at it in that way. I was hoping he was going to stay alive for at least 2 more years to see his favorite grandson graduate, but he saw the other one graduate back in June, and he was crying in church, and that's a memory that I always have. Is he was so happy to see, his grandson, graduate and go to college. And before my nephew went to college, he stopped there on his way to the airport and said goodbye and stuff. So it was nice. I'm glad that they actually care about their grandfather. Cause me, I never saw my grandfathers. I told them, you guys are lucky. You got to see your grandfather. I never saw my grandfathers. I saw my grandfather when I was 9 months old when he died, so I don't have no recognition of it. So they're lucky. They had both of their grandfathers. So it's life. Sometimes we see them, sometimes we don't. But at the end of the day, life goes on, and they don't want us to mourn their death every day. They just want us to recognize them and know that they loved us and we love them and just move on. Thanks, Tanya. I love you too, sweetheart. No problem. It's all good. I know you've been through your share and you're still okay. It's people like you that I know that have lost someone and lost a few people in your life, and you're okay. You're surviving. You're doing what you have to do. And now we just can all support each other as much as we can, like we always do. We always support each other when things happen. And I appreciate you guys, support and stuff. But yeah, it's just the way it is. Death sucks. Life sucks sometimes. Everything just can't always be good. It can't always be good. Life's never going to be perfect. But now I have a task on my hands now to take care of my mom. I gotta build her confidence up to do the things that my dad did. 'Cause my dad controlled the TV. He drove everywhere. She didn't. So now I have to drive her to the store. I have to make sure she's okay, take her to her appointments, take her to church, you know, make sure she's okay. I'm going to do everything I can to help her. That was my dad's wish when he came to me in spirit today. He's like, please take care of your mother and make sure everything's okay at the house. So I was already going to do it anyway, but I was going to keep making sure she's all right. She's my main concern right now. So I'm just going to put everything to the side right now and just take care of her until she's okay again. Thanks, Joanna. I appreciate that. Yeah, she'll be fine. She has me, you know. My youngest sister helps a lot, and myself, but now my older siblings, they gotta kick in. And I promised my mom that I'm not gonna, like, and I promised my sister that I'm not gonna go off on them and fuck them off and shit because they need to be fucked off. But my dad never liked that, and my mom doesn't like that. But I'm the type of person I lay into them and tell them about themselves because they can't say nothing to me because I do everything for my parents and they don't. But I'm gonna keep it that way. I'm just gonna keep to myself, and if you want to help mom, help her. If you don't, fuck you. That's all. I'll do it. It's cool. At the end of the day, I know what I'm doing is what God wants me to do. So you help, you help. You don't, you don't. That's all. I just have to make sure that she's okay. That's all. She's my main concern. Tomorrow morning, I'm gonna get up and go down there right away and make sure she's okay. I'm gonna make sure she tries to eat something or make sure she has everything she needs. It's gonna be a tough week. But Marky's gonna be all right. I'm a tough boy. I'm a tough guy, so I'll be okay. Oh, it's gonna be all right. With support from you guys means a lot, and I know we always help each other, and that's the main thing. But in the meantime, I'm gonna go see if I can get some type of sleep. I couldn't. I know it's like 12:30 here in the morning, but I wasn't gonna go live. But I said I was gonna. I just wanted to come on and just talk about things and just uh, let you guys know that I'm okay. I'll survive. I'll be all right. And I'm going to continue to do what I have to do every day. That's all. I'm not going to stop my life because of this. Because my dad wouldn't want that, and then you're not supposed to. So you sit back and you dwell on shit too much, you go crazy, and it's not what you're supposed to do. You know? I'm not going to sit here and fucking celebrate or something, but, I know that life goes on. You just have to keep going. You know? I know probably most people, if they had their dad pass away, they probably wouldn't go live. But me, I'm different. I don't see it as like a bad thing. I see it as, understanding life. I just understand that this shit happens. It's just the way it is. And if you can understand that they're with you in a different way, then you shouldn't have nothing to worry about. That's all. Yeah, I'll be here, Dan. I'm gonna still continue my life. I'm gonna still stay in good spirits. I'll be here. I don't want my life to stop because things have gone really good for me, and I'm not gonna like let this, get to me or take me down. My dad wouldn't want that anyway, you know. I've seen my dad go through a lot of deaths too. My dad's like buried all his friends and family, and my mom same way. My dad has a brother here. We notified him and told him and stuff. So it's all good. I just can't wait till the funeral is over and done with, and then I can really, focus on helping my mom and getting the house up to getting my mom back up to par and teaching her what my dad, is doing. And, there's certain things I have to, teach my mom how to do, or like show her how to deal with the TV, because my dad always dealt with the TV and the control, and she just didn't care. But she knows how to do it. She ain't dumb. I'm just gonna show her how to deal with the stuff, and I'm gonna show her how to deal with certain things. Make sure I help her out. That's all. I'll probably go to the grocery store tomorrow and get her a whole heap of stuff that she needs. That's all. But anyway, guys, I should be here tomorrow, you know, and I want life to go on, I don't want to sit here and sulk and cry, or, moan and bitch about shit. And, I just want to continue life and celebrate that he's no longer in pain. That's the most relieving thing about this whole thing, is I know that he's no longer in pain, because he was all fucked up. His fingers were distorted and all messed up from gout and from arthritis. He was walking with a cane. He had gout again today. His feet were always swollen. He could barely move and barely walk. Thank God he drove right up until the day he went. He says sitting down is fine, but when he has to get up, it's worse. And this past month, he's used the cane like every day. So I knew like he was getting weaker and weaker. But 2 weeks ago, I went there to cut the grass, and he came outside, and we guys, were talking shit in the garage and stuff. And he thanked me for cutting the grass, and I took him to go get his hair cut 3 weeks ago. So I spent a lot of time with him, so I knew in return he'll be right back here in my apartment chilling with me as long as he can. So anyway, guys, I just wanted to come on here and let you know I'm okay, and thank you for your support and your condolences and your kind words. I appreciate everybody checking up on me, and I just wanted to come live and say thanks to everybody who reached out to me, and I'll keep you guys posted on everything, and I'll let you know. I'll probably come live tomorrow again and just say hello or whatever. All right, guys. I love you all. Thank you for hanging out and being here for me. I appreciate you. And go have a good weekend. Don't worry about me. I'll be all right. Marky strong. I'm good. Like my shirt says, faith over fear. And what a day to wear it. Can't make this shit up, see? If I have faith, I have no reason to fear. All right, guys. I'll see you tomorrow, man.